Good evening. Welcome to my second ever Heroes of the Storm replay cast. Today we have a match from the Amateur League, the Nexus Gaming Series, Division C East. The blue team, we've got the members of Calculated Throw. We've got Scooterman on Cho, ScootypuffJr on Gaul, Mystik on Oriel, MonaDerp on Greymane, and Grevent on Urel. The red team, we've got the members of Please Clap, Lasondo on Blaze, Lothair on Rainer, LazyHydra on Mouthail, Wolf on Anna, and Golden on Zeratul. So this is going to be, a little new, since I've only done this one time ever before, 3 years ago. And this match here, it is an amateur league match. I'm actually also in this amateur league myself on a different team, so I might even play... Actually, I already have played one of these teams before. And we've got some interesting drafts from both teams. Certainly the blue team draft, Calculated Throw, they've got the Cho Gaul, which is a very, very rare hero, especially in more serious modes of play. And even though these are amateurs, this is still organized play. Cho Gaul is an ogre from Warcraft. He has 2 heads, 2 personalities, and that actually means that 2 players play this hero. They control this one body. They both have their own sets of abilities. Only the player playing Cho actually controls the movement. The draft from Please Clap isn't quite as strange. But what is strange is they do have a main tank Blaze. Blaze is usually more commonly played as a solo lane hero, but he is sometimes played in that main tank role as well. Interestingly, we also have LazyHydra on the Mouthail, which is normally a solo laner, but it actually looks like LazyHydra is with the 4-man, whereas we have the solo lane Zeratul, which has existed, but it's definitely a lot rarer these days. So mercenary camps are now up, so we see both teams securing their turret camp on the bottom half of the map just as soon as that comes up. That's a camp that you don't really need to time with the objective. It's just something, as soon as it comes up, ideally you do want to get it. And it does look like Zeratul actually invading. And yeah, he is going to win against MonaDerp, but here is the reaction from everyone else. MonaDerp does go down though, and does look like the blue team, Calculated Throw, is able to keep a hold of their turret. So failed invade attempt by Please Clap, but they did get that 1 kill on Greymane, and actually Please Clap with a rather significant, almost a full level lead over Calculated Throw. And with that hero kill, as well as that almost level lead, the members of Please Clap are going to go for the healing camp right in the middle, which is a very, very important camp to get. It is contested, and the opportunity for that did open with Greymane's death. So Cho Gaul, again, very rare, and he can be a very feast or famine hero. Depending on the draft, and basically to almost define feast or famine, when he can actually work, he can work extremely well, or both of them, where they will just dominate the other team. And when Cho Gaul doesn't work, it basically ends up being the opposite in their favor. And right now it's seeming like Calculated Throw are in a bit of trouble right here with almost a level and a half lead. It's going to be a very strong advantage for the members of Please Clap going into this objective phase. So for those of you who are my viewers from Dawn of War and maybe don't play as much of this game, don't know much about it, this is a MOBA, somewhat similar to League of Legends and Dota, obviously not as popular. And one of the things that is relatively unique to this is that every map on Heroes of the Storm has some kind of objective phase, and right now we see this objective phase initiated right here. This is a beacon, and when this beacon finishes, the team that manages to channel it completely will get a robot called a Triglav Protector. And it's basically every objective in Heroes of the Storm is some kind of push mechanic that makes it easier to push down the structures of the opposing enemy team. Looks like the members of Calculated Throw doing a pretty good job of managing to soak themselves back into this game. Soak is basically a word in Heroes of the Storm meaning to get experience from the minion waves in order to keep up an experience with your opponent as you get levels. Meanwhile, actually team fight might be starting. Turret down for both teams, and it looks like the healing camp is definitely going to give the advantage to Please Clap. We're already at 99%. It's just overtime ticking down in favor, and here is that Triglav Protector going to come out. So again, this is a push mechanic. the Triglav Protector requires 2 heroes to get inside, to basically gives them an array of abilities as well as a very tanky unit effectively. And this Triglav Protector cannot be affected by any crowd control effects, silence, stuns, slows, what have you. And it looks like what we're seeing from Please Clap is a pretty common approach to using the Triglav Protector, which was getting the wall... No, it actually did not get the wall down here. It looks like they actually only chose to get the wall up top, which, if you can only get one wall, I do actually think that is the better choice, because that will set them up for the next Triglav Protector, which will be channeled from a beacon at the top of the map. So at the bottom of the map, we see a solo lane matchup. So typically the way this game works is that you have 4 players who are rotating as 4, and that's called the 4-man. And then there's 1 player who is playing the solo lane. Yrel, this Space Goat right here, is a solo lane character, and Zeratul, not too common as a solo lane character, but is playing the solo lane in this game. They're responsible for managing lane all by themselves, most of the time, usually. And their role is to get experience for their team. Sometimes they might even have to soak more than 1 lane. But they mostly operate independently, whereas the rest of the team operates as 4 together. So it does look like Please Clap. They do have a level 10 advantage, which is arguably and most likely the most critical level advantage you can have in the entire game, because it means that Please Clap have their ultimate abilities, which are the most impactful abilities that heroes have, whereas the members of Calculated Throw do not have them yet. So for this brief time period, the members of Please Clap have a very, very big advantage. That's why they were able to take this healing camp uncontested. If they really wanted to, they could even do something like try to force a team fight, or even just try to push down a structure in a wave. But it looks like they're mostly playing pretty safe. They are going to get their siege camp, which will push down the lane once it is captured. So I've talked about this Cho'Gall, and level 10 abilities are coming in for Calculated Throw. This Cho'Gall does have a very large health pool, and typically one of the big answers to that is percent damage. So that's why we have the Mouth Ale from LazyHydra. And I think that's also a reason why the Mouth Ale has, for most of this game, actually been in the 4-man instead of solo lane, so that it can directly deal with the Cho'Gall. But at this time, it does look like they've switched. Golden right here, hiding as Zeratul. Zeratul is an infiltrated hero, which means that he does not show on the minimap. He's actually very easy to see most of the time when he is moving, but if he does stand still for a while, he will become completely invisible. LazyHydra, meanwhile, rotating up into the middle. His positioning, he's in a little bit of trouble, but since he was able to teleport through and over Cho'Gall, it does look like he'll make it out of there alive. But that's also the healing camp forced out a little bit early, just to save LazyHydra, which means they won't have it in time for the objective. So I think that's actually a small win for the members of Calculated Throw. Calculated Throw, however, still definitely not winning the game yet. They're four top, which means they're not getting soak from any other lane, not getting experience from any other lane. They're about to be at a level 13 disadvantage. So 13 is not as big of a disadvantage as if your opponent is at 10 and you aren't. But basically at certain level intervals, you get a talent. A talent is just a new ability, or just it's something that buffs your hero in some way. So right now, the members of Please Clap have their level 13 talents, while the members of ScootypuffJr don't. That's why, even though the objective is active and the members of Please Clap are channeling it, the members of Calculated Throw are not contesting it. They're not contesting it because Yrel is down here trying to get enough experience to get them to level 13. But it looks like they're going to contest it anyway, even down a talent tier. This is actually something that is considered a big misplay, and I think they're going to pay for it hard. Alright, maybe not hard, but I think they're going to pay for it, because someone is going to die here. And that's definitely going to be Cho'Gall down. Last Rites comes in from Mouth Ale. But it looks like we might have a Resurrect from Oriel. Even though the Resurrect is in, I don't think they're ready to take another team fight. Not with Greymane backing off, but they're just going in anyway. Grevent trying to go in. Grevent uses his ult, the Ardent Defender from Oriole. Normally that Ardent Defender lets her return health from damage that she took, but she took hardly any damage once it was activated. I think this is another one objective for the members of Please Clap. They're still up the talent tier. And they're still putting on that pressure pretty hard. I think a kill's going to come in somewhere. Golden is going in very hard. Golden goes in pretty hard against that as that Zeratul, and actually Golden does pay for it, but I think ScootypuffJr. and Scooterman are going to go down as well. So the problem with Cho'Gall dying is that since 2 players play him, you get 2 heroes worth of experience if you actually get to kill Cho'Gall. And we're going to see another last rites going on Yrel. Right now this is actually being a pretty dominant game in favor of the members of Please Clap. So Malthael's ult, last rites, it's basically an execution ability. If I check it real quick, does damage equal to 50% of a hero's missing health. So it's particularly effective against high health targets. Once you see that they're down to roughly 33% health, once they're below 33% health, that basically means last rites is a guaranteed kill. And once Malthael also starts getting kills with that, the cooldown of the ability is permanently reduced. And we saw that he used it on Cho'Gall, then a little while later he used it on Yrel. Both are high health heroes. So here's that Triglav Protector. Please Clap also about to be up their level 16 talent tier advantage, while this Triglav Protector starts to push down the bottom fort. This looks like it would be the first fort of the game taken. The outer structures are called forts, the inner structures are called keeps. There is also a front wall protecting these structures. Lasondo charges in, doesn't get a stun, but I think that, yeah, the positioning is strong enough that they're able to kill MonaDerp. And even though they don't even have the Triglav Protector anymore, they can continue pushing if they really, really want to. It looks like instead they're going to go for, yeah, I think this is the better play, going for stealing Calculated Throw's turret camp, while Malthael continues to just soak and push lanes here. Malthael is a very strong solo laner, so strong that he's not just a solo laner, but he is a dual soaker. And that's when you have heroes who have good enough wave clear that they can actually effectively soak 2 lanes. For Malthael, this is also facilitated by his, I was going to say by his level 1 talent on a Pale Horse, but he actually didn't get that. He got Fear the Reaper. I've always actually been a personally big fan of that, but it's hard to justify getting it against on a Pale Horse, but looks like LazyHydra's doing it anyway. So then, got a little bit of a lull in the action right here, as my second time only ever casting this game. I've been finding it very hard to talk about the talent choices here, and I do think if I take a quick look, man, it's actually hard. Certainly for the ultimate choices are looking fairly standard. Might of the Nerazim from Zeratul is actually slightly unusual, but it looks like Golden is basically going for hard carry Zeratul instead of trying to set up a play with a Void Prison. And there actually wouldn't be that much to set up with a Void Prison anyway, so I don't disapprove of the Might of the Nerazim build. Might of the Nerazim allows him to reset basic abilities. Technically, it's basically he uses his last previously cast basic ability again, which gives him either more mobility or more damage. Level 18 to 16. So soon the members of Calculated Throw will be on an even talent tier. But the level disadvantage still hurts a bit, because aside from the talent tier, the level disadvantage the levels also come with increased stats. So the members of Please Clap are going to have a statistical advantage over the members of Calculated Throw. And right now this game is playing out very much how I would expect it to be, both because of the Cho'Gall pick, as well as what I know about these teams from having played in this with and against some of these teams. Please Clap is generally within their division. I would say they probably are one of the stronger teams. Historically, they've been pretty strong within their division, since we are talking about amateur leagues that are grouped according to skill level. Golden, man, Golden really does like to be aggressive. He does go in deep and nearly pays for it. He has paid for it in the past. So I'm noticing that Cho'Gall has gone for actually, I'm not sure what he's gone for. Never mind. Let's forget about that for a second. I'm still trying to figure things out here. Alright, so the bottom beacon has activated. No one's here yet because they would like to get the camp. And despite the level disadvantage, the members of Calculated Throw are trying to contest this because we're about to reach the final talent tier, the level 20 Storm Talents, which is, in my opinion, the second most influential talent tier after level 10. Oh man, Scootyman and Scooty... Oh, that's actually very nice. Using the Molten Armor, or the Molten Block, I think that's what it's called, to actually nullify the last rites, but it's not enough, and they still lose that team fight pretty handily. Let's find out for sure. Molten Block is correct. I do see why they wanted to go for that, and the reasoning was that they were trying to get that and contest the healing camp before the members of Please Clap reach level 20. Level 20 means they get their level 20 talents. Level 20 talents are very, very powerful. You often have a choice. In most cases, in almost all cases, you can upgrade your heroic ability. There are also usually one or two other choices which don't upgrade your heroic ability but are nevertheless very, very powerful. In fact, if we look at what level 20 talents are available, while we've got not a whole lot happen, we've got Nexus Blades for Zeratul, just going to give him extra damage as well as slowing on his basic attacks. We've got Execute from Lothair on Raynor, which does give Raynor a lot more damage since he fires faster and he does increase damage to targets below 50% health. I see why people take this, and it certainly does a lot of damage. Personally, I was always a big fan of Target Acquired, where you get the armor reduction. But meanwhile, we've got a team fight going down right here. Bunker has been put down, but people aren't getting in it. They're just fighting. I mean, they're winning even without the bunker. Mystik is down, and it's just going to be Greymane left. And with that... Oh, wait. I'm just kidding. There's Zurel still here, but not for much longer. At this point, with level 17 to 20, 5 people dead, and a Triglav Protector for Please Clap, I think this is basically their victory march. They do have to go through a wall, a keep, but I think with their now 4 level advantage, really more like 3 1/4, and it'll soon be just 3, I don't think there's any way that Calculated Throw can actually stop this. The result is not surprising. I think the biggest thing, more so than what I know about the teams, is the Cho'Gall, which Cho'Gall it's a very, very risky pick, and it was also something that was very handily countered by the Malthael, and that will indeed be Game 1 going in favor of the members of Please Clap. We've got more games in this series, though, so keep watching. Alright, so now we're on Game 2. We have a map, or rather a game, on Infernal Shrines. On the blue team, we've still got the members of Calculated Throw. We've now got Scooterman on Muradin, Mystik on Alexstrasza. We've got ScootypuffJr on Kel'Thas, Grevent on Kira, and Deathwing, who you can't even see, played by MonaDerp. The members of Please Clap, we've got Lasondo now on ETC, Lothair on Thrall, Wolf on Lily, LazyHydra on Leoric, and Golden now playing the Malthael. So I would say these drafts are now a little bit more typical, a little bit more standard than what we saw from the previous games. But there's still some strange things here. Actually, maybe not. I'm actually kind of tripping. We do have more traditional main tanks at the very least in Muradin and ETC. You know, a lot going to happen right here with Deathwing choosing to land down on the ground. But actually, I just realized how incredibly bizarre Please Clap's draft is. They've gone for a quad melee draft. Quad melee. Which is incredibly rare. The standard is usually 2 melee. And triple melee is something that's common enough that it's not crazy. But quad melee is absolutely crazy. That means they really don't have any ranged DPS. The closest thing they have to ranged DPS is going to be Lothair shooting out those chain lightnings from Thrall's hammer. And then taking a bomb spread by Lasondo. I looked at it first, and Please Clap had, in my mind, 2 solo laners, but they arguably have 3 solo laners, especially with Thrall not even going Crash Lightning, he's going Echo of the Elements. You could even argue that ETC is a solo laner. So they've basically got 3, 4, 3.5 solo laners, no range DPS. It's actually really crazy. Meanwhile, Calculated Throw, they've got the Deathwing, which is new hero, rather polarizing. Talk more about him later. Actually, Deathwing, we can take a look at him up here. So Deathwing, big dragon. He is permanently unstoppable, so that means he cannot be slowed, he cannot be stunned, he cannot be silenced. He's not vulnerable to any crowd control except for maybe blinding. I'll have to check up on that one. And he's still kind of countered by this Malthael as well as the Leoric. Both Leoric and Malthael are heroes who can do percent-based damage, meaning that they can do a lot of damage to Deathwing with his high health pool and his armor. So it looks like the siege camp was taken for the members of Please Clap. Going to be cleared out, though, by the members of Calculated Throw. They have decent enough wave clear, but most of Calculated Throw's wave clear is concentrated in Kel'Thas, played by ScootypuffJr. Looks like they're gonna go for their camp right before the objective. I think that's a smart play. Timing is pretty good. We are gonna see also the Bruiser camp taken by the members of Please Clap. So camps being taken pretty much all around. Ooh, actually I'd say I think the macro advantage overall is gonna go in favor of the members of Please Clap. But we're gonna really have to see how this team fight plays out with Please Clap having no range DPS. I mean, I guess just maybe once Malthael goes in, they just kind of pile in on him because they've got the percent damage from Leoric, the percent damage from Malthael. Later on, Thrall can even get percent damage. Ooh, wow, that was actually just barely dodged by Grevent. He was almost stunned, but we are going to see Scooterman. Yeah, Scooterman's going to go down there. Team fight. Grevent, I think, is dead here too. Nope, you're able to use the grappling hook and does not, just barely. Lasondo tried to get another stun on Grevent, but Grevent's been doing a pretty good job at getting away from those stuns. Unfortunately for him, he might have gotten away from that stun, but that also means Calculated Throw has gotten away from the objective. So here's our objective on Infernal Shrines. This shrine spawns skeletal defenders, and as you can see with the counters on the bottom, you need to get 40 of them. Once you get 40 of them, a Punisher spawns. Now the Punisher, unlike the Triglav Protector on the previous map, is an AI-controlled unit, I guess. I feel like unit's not the best word to be using here, but it's AI controlled basically. It will push down the lane. It can also stun and damage. With 31 skeletal defenders in favor of the members of Please Clap. Oh my god, hard to talk. I don't see Calculated Throw taking back this shrine, and I feel like this contesting is very ill-advised. Nobody was dead yet, but Grevent is rooted, and he's gotta be dead. I don't see a way for him to get out. ScootypuffJr also going down as well, and we are seeing the members of Please Clap. Okay, actually, wow, I didn't realize kills being traded out. Malthael and ETC down, but that still leaves it at a 3v3. Just kidding, 3v2. And that does mean the members of Please Clap just finish up the objective, and they will get that Punisher. So here's that Punisher. This one is a Mortar Punisher. Traditionally, it has, for most of the time, it has been considered the worst of the Punisher varieties. There have been a few changes, and I'm actually not 100% sure if that's still true. And the members of Please Clap still actually managing to make a pretty good push down this lane despite missing some of their members. Actually able to take down the first... Actually able to take down a fort with the first Punisher. That's actually not that common, which is... It's definitely a very strong play for the members of Please Clap. Normally, you get down the wall, the front wall, but usually the first Punisher does not accomplish very much. Grevent is on an island right here. There's absolutely no way he gets out of this alive. I'm not quite sure what was happening there. Meanwhile, MonaDerp is trying to soak some experience to try to get them to level 10. Since Please Clap, once again, with that level 10 advantage, we do have ultimates coming in. Jug for Lily, Last Rites again for Malthael, Earthquake for Thrall. Oh, that's not going to be enough to save Deathwing. That was so sad. So Last Rites was used on Deathwing. Deathwing tried to use Cataclysm to fly out of there, But once the last rites is active on you, it's gonna happen, and you either need to get healing in time, or you need to activate some kind of protected or stasis ability to protect yourself from it. And Deathwing just did not have it at that moment. In fact, curiously, I find the talent build for Deathwing very curious, since he went for Dragon Soul at level 1, giving him actually self-healing on Incinerate, as well as Lava Burst. But normally you see the Draconic Might at level 1, which gives Deathwing the protected status whenever he loses one of his armor platings. Okay, MonaDerp gonna fly in. I think she's bitten off a little bit more than she can chew. I don't actually know if she's a girl. Is Deathwing gonna die again? No, not this time. Gonna get out of there, but we see that percent damage is absolutely shredding MonaDerp. So for now, the squad melee draft is actually working out quite well for the members of Please Clap. So I missed that last heroic from Please Clap. They've got Mosh Pit for ETC. Meanwhile, on the side of Calculated Throw, we have Lifebinder. We've got Avatar, Final Strike, Pyroblast, and actually I can't see. I'll need to. Oh, Bellowing Roar from. Actually, I did already see him, Deathwing use that Bellowing Roar, the fear effect around Deathwing himself. Oh man, I'm looking for something to happen. I feel like, let's see. Right now, the members of Calculated Throw a bit out of the lane. ScootypuffJr is caught by the Entomb, but does not die. And we're going to see several ults coming out here. Jugs, Earthquake. Here's the Mosh Pit. The Mosh Pit is not going to be interrupted. So 1 kill is secured for the members of Please Clap. But that fear, actually a pretty good fear from MonaDerp, and that's enough to actually also get the kill on Malthael. We're going to see some more deaths, maybe. LazyHydra looks like I feel like he should go down. If he doesn't, that would actually be pretty crazy. And MonaDerp, I think, needs to get out of here. But now we actually have a kill advantage in favor of the Calculated Throw. They lost one, and that one has already respawned. Lasondo, I think, is way overstepping. And Lasondo should be down. So now we've got 3 kills for the members of Calculated Throw, and they're doing this even down a talent tier. They are down that talent tier, but they're still going in. Grevent goes in. He's got no health. All right, he activates. He activates to restore health. Blood Rage. Oh God, 4 in the Entomb, but not much follow. Oh, actually, just kidding. There's a follow-up. There's the last rites. It looked like there wasn't going to be follow-up there, but 4 in the Entomb. How do you? They grouped up so much. Too much. Alright then, so it looks like we're going to see another. Most likely this is going to be a Punisher in favor of Please Clap. And this is strange, because I feel like just about a minute ago I was saying, oh wow, the members of Calculated Throw, they have more kills. I guess they just kept fighting and somehow kept losing. I don't even know what happened. I feel like I blacked out. Anyway, Golden is going to get the camp here. Bruiser camp. And, oh man, this is actually looking real dominant right now. They're going to get the Punisher. Look at the way they're spreading out from macro. We've got even ETC soloing a camp, which is actually not working out that well. It's going to take them a really long time. And they leave Wolf and Lothair by themselves. And that's a little bit of a misplay. Lothair, he does not go down here. Actually, I'm not sure. Pyroblast is going to hit him. He does not go down. Okay. So Lasondo goes in. This is, I don't feel the right time for Lasondo to go in. I think that's a really big throw. I feel like I saw what they were going for. Lasondo did not even finish this. I feel like their idea was good, but somewhere the execution was just lost. And I feel like the idea was they take the Punisher and they also take a bunch of these camps. And I feel like it totally could have happened. But I think ETC soloing a camp was not the right move, especially not without Echo Pedal. He went for, what is it again? Pinball Wizard at level 7. And as long as Lothair and Wolf were on the objective, they just needed to try to be as careful as they could about trying to back off if they were invaded. And I actually think Lothair and Wolf being on the objective was not the right heroes to be there. I think it really needed to be LazyHydra who was still on the objective. Because I feel like LazyHydra is basically, like, if we talk about relative advantage, he would be the best on the shrine while everyone else should be on the camps. We're going to see an invade. They do have level 16 advantage, but here comes Deathwing dropping down again. Mosh Pit doesn't do anything to Deathwing, who doesn't care. And LazyHydra's in trouble, so is Lasondo. They're both really low. Cataclysm going to come in, going to bring MonaDerp in. I don't think LazyHydra has Wraithwalk, so yeah, he just goes down there. And what else is going to happen? Golden is way out here. How did he get out here? So he's going to go down too. We've got the levels finally evened, and this is the best that Calculated Throw has looked all series. So they're going to want to take down this fort. I think they really need someone clearing this, though. They're going to lose the keep front wall and possibly even take some keep damage. So I don't think they should continue with the 5-man. I think one person here needs to go home and stop this. I think the invade here is a great idea, but who's going to stop this? Alright, Deathwing finally goes over, but he's going to walk there. And Deathwing, since Deathwing cannot mount, he can only walk at default speed, whereas, of course, if he had mounted, in this game you can mount and you can move quite a bit faster. Lothair, I think he gets out of here alive. No, I'm just kidding, he doesn't. I think the combination of that Stormbolt as well as definitely the final strike really sealed the deal in favor of Lothair dying. So this quad melee was going well before, but not so well now. You know, one of the reasons for that is Kel'Thas is actually pretty good against heavy melee compositions. Well, he is and he isn't. Basically, that Living Bomb ability that he has, it's going to be very hard, and it probably has been very hard for the members of Please Clap to not spread it, but at the same time, Kel'Thas is very vulnerable if they are able to dive on him, but I think the Deathwing has probably been making it hard for them to dive. Meanwhile, MonaDerp is trying to get away from Golden's Malthael. Has to blow the fear. I feel like that was, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's a 60-second cooldown just to stay alive. I think with the way things are going right now, he'll probably have it back up by the next important team fight. It still just seems like a big cooldown. I guess what he was probably worried about is Malthael just chasing him until he uses the last rites and actually gets a kill on him. And actually, if he had gotten the kill, that would have been terrible. Another Entomb goes in, but this Entomb not achieving a whole lot. Meanwhile, Pyroblast goes in on Golden, doesn't achieve much. Here's the Mosh Pit, but Lasondo's also dying. And right now the team fight is seeming really even. Scooterman needs to jump out, even with the Avatar. Mystik is low, but he's about to have the Lifebinder, and actually it's Golden and LazyHydra who go down. So this triple melee composition, it was working well at first, but now it seems to be backfiring, and it does seem like they're just dying first now. There really is no way that this shrine goes in the favor of Please Clap at this point. MonaDerp again finding him or herself a little overextended, has to blow the fear again in order to stay alive. ScootypuffJr needs to back, I guess, did not have a tap ready. And it looks like they're backing off here. But LazyHydra going in on Malthael? Going in really, really far. And this could be LazyHydra dead. Yeah, LazyHydra is definitely dead. Out of all the heroes you could lose, Leoric would actually be the least worst one, since he can use his abilities while dead to cheat death and come back alive a little bit faster. He also can respawn in the field as opposed to respawning all the way back at base, or as we call it, the Hall of Storms. But they are now, I think, fighting down. Nope, because Kel'Thas isn't here yet, but here comes Kel'Thas. Raw Flame Strike. Lasondo's going to die, I think. Lasondo goes in, but there's nothing he was going to achieve with that. And the Punisher does go in favor of Calculated Throw. So this is the Arcane Punisher. Classically, for most of the time in Heroes of the Storm, this has been considered the best Punisher. Punisher gets a stun on LazyHydra. LazyHydra, is he going to die for that? Alright, looks like LazyHydra gets out alive, but we saw that he nearly died. And that is one of the powerful things that the Punisher can do. The Punisher can jump on a hero, and it will actually stun them. And if you have any follow-up from your team, that can be absolutely devastating. Play your cards right, you can get a kill off them. And if Calculated Throw plays their cards right, I think they finish this game here. 3 dead. 2 are going to come back soon, but I don't know if it'll be enough to take down both the Punisher. I don't know if LazyHydra dying here is the play either. I know he wanted to stall, try to get as much damage as possible, but even with him trying to cheat death, he's not going to be alive in time to help with the defense of this Punisher. And I don't think Lasondo on ETC and Lothair is going to be enough. I think this is the end of the game in favor of the members of Calculated Throw. So, we have the game tied apiece at 1-1. We'll take a quick look at the stats right here. Alright then, we've got Game 3 on Alterac Pass to finish out this series between Calculated Throw and Please Clap. On the blue team, we've got Calculated Throw once again with ScootypuffJr. on ETC, on ETC, Scooterman on Anubarak, MonaDerp on Li Ming, Grevent on Kira, and Mystik on Deckard Cain. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got the members of Please Clap, Lasondo on Blaze, main tank Blaze again, Lothair on Rainer, Wolf on Tyrande. It's going to be LazyHydra on Falstad, and Golden on Chen. It's very interesting the way Please Clap plays. It's almost like they play with 2 solo laners, where we've got basically both LazyHydra playing as a solo laner. I think Golden is definitely the primary solo laner, whereas LazyHydra is more of a flex player. So we've got that main tank Blaze again. Again, main tank Blaze is not common. Traditionally, main Blaze is a solo laner. But he is sometimes played in that main tank role, and that was the original intention of the hero from Blizzard, I believe. So we're going to see the splash right here in the middle, but Kira is going to break off to go to the top lane to start getting soak. Don't know how this works out as a solo lane matchup. Right now it's looking like it kind of going in Golden's favor, but he decides to back off anyway. So Chen, interesting hero, drinks a lot, can drink to gain shields, as well as also refill his energy. I don't know if there's actually supposed to be a technical name. Brew! I knew that. How did I forget that? Brew, right, of course. Which he needs to use to cast his abilities. Oh man, you think you know things about a game, but then when you actually try to cast it, and when you need to have that knowledge on call in a moment, you realize just how much you don't. Anyway, LazyHydra, now the one laning against Grevent, but Li Ming, MonaDerp sharking around here, seeing if he can find a kill. I feel like they would need one of their tanks to come up here, but LazyHydra has already kind of scouted it out by going through this mud. But this mud does obscure vision. You know what, for a second? Anyway. So the siege camp has been taken for the members of Please Clap. And this siege camp is special in that it actually reduces the armor of things it attacks, which can make it very difficult to take. It's very hard to solo that camp. And we are going to see the opposing siege camp taken by Calculated Throw to try to even it out, but there will definitely be some damage already taken on the front wall of the middle fort of Calculated Throw. But that does mean right now there is no one soaking top for Calculated Throw, so they're starting to lose out on experience again. Unfortunately, that has been a bit of a common theme for them, that they're often behind in experience, certainly in terms of the laning and the macro. And if they do catch up, it's more in mid to late game team fighting. So the objective phase is now initiating. So for Alterac Pass, we have you need to channel these prisoner camps. Once it is fully channeled, your team will get a cavalry, an AI-controlled cavalry unit that will push down all 3 lanes. Gives an area of effect buff to player-controlled units, heroes basically. and you use that to push down the lanes. I personally feel the objective on this map is pretty powerful on just about any stage of it. And you also have time, since it doesn't channel instantly. Like, Please Clap, if they really wanted to, they could wait till level 7, they could get this camp again, and in fact he is going to get the camp. He's going to bribe it using Falstead's talent. Oh, he only has 2 bribe stacks, so he needs to actually kill the other one. Meanwhile, we have an actual team fight happening here. Lothair almost dies, Golden is able to get out of there, and they're actually able to stall long enough that they will be able to get this camp back up. Soon they will also have level 7 talent advantage in favor over Calculated Throws. Now, Calculated Throws in the position where ideally they might want to do the same thing. They might want to back off, not really contest the objective, get this camp again, get the siege camp again to even it out with Please Clap. But instead it looks like they want to clear it manually just right here. A 3-man stun from that lunar flare from Wolf. And they're going to want to soak to level 7, so they're going to get level 7, but Please Clap is actually staying very, very far ahead in levels right now, with Golden even deciding to push the lane. So they're actually ignoring the objective. And I said I felt the objective was powerful, but maybe it's not that powerful, since it seems like Please Clap feel it's more worth their time to just push down the lanes. And right now, Calculated Throw hasn't even decided. If they wanted, they could push their way in here and actually just get the objective, which looks like they're finally deciding to do that. But they're now deciding to do that while they're a level and a half behind. And Falstad can just fly in. That is... Oh, but he flew into the wrong spot! Is he going to get out of there? No, he's not. So Falstad is a global hero, meaning he can fly in using his, using the wings on his bird. And unfortunately, he just flew into the wrong spot. He just got blown up. So macro is definitely stronger for Please Clap. Team fighting, not necessarily, though. And that's why there are a lot of parts in this game where Please Clap is winning, and then suddenly Calculated Throw is like, hold on, we're still in this game. I don't think they're even going to be able to get, I don't think they're going to be able to unchannel it. We'll see. They're getting that unchanneled, but another disruption by ScootypuffJr, knocking Rainer out of the channel, and they just barely rechannel it with 3.4 seconds left. So there's still a chance for Please Clap to get the objective in their favor, and if anything, it's actually a very good chance. They're still about a level ahead. That does also mean if they play their cards right, they can get ultimate abilities for the next team fight. If they, again, play that macro game, just soak, which is what Golden's going to do right now. Lothair is even going to help him. In fact, Golden, where are you going? You trying to do a boss or something? Maybe not. Maybe he was just looking around. I don't know. And again, there it is. So they've got level 10s. And we're going to see this... we're going to see again this capture on the mercenary camp. So this makes it quite a bit easier to capture this mercenary camp. Not many heroes can do this by themselves, but Falstad, if he takes bribe at level 1, it's actually called Wingman. He can get a lot more easily by bribing 2 of them and finishing the last one off by himself. Meanwhile, MonaDerp does not die, because we actually have a Wandering Keg. Okay, just kidding. MonaDerp died, and so did Kira. We've got a Wandering Keg out from Golden. Wandering Keg is not the more common heroic. Typically, you see the Panda Pals. Storm, Earth, and Fire, I believe, is the correct name. But nevertheless, the Wandering Keg it can be useful. It can allow you to isolate a target to kill it. And right now, Calculated Throw really just has no business whatsoever trying to fight anymore. They really need someone up here. Try to get that soak. Try to soak to level 10. To try to at least have it before they have to start defending the cavalry. So we are going to now see these cavalry units charge down all 3 lanes. Cavalry units, where are they? I don't see them yet, but they are coming. I think they need to fully charge up this meter here before they actually start coming. Like, I'm still not really seeing why we don't have one person from Calculated Throw here getting this soak. This is soak that they are going to straight up miss. They're just not going to get it. And that means they're now here with the members of Please Clap pushing down top lane. Here comes that cavalry unit, gives an area of effect buff to movement speed and damage. They're trying to fight. Okay, now they finally have level 10. They do have 5 up here, so again, they're going to actually kill something. They've got the cocoon did stop Lothair's Rainer, but it wasn't enough, and they still lose that team fight. They actually just lost a 5v4, but they also fought into the cavalry. If anything, it's like they lost a 5v3 because they did cocoon someone. So we might see a dominant finish for Please Clap in this final game in the series. At least that's the way it's looking right now. And we've seen that Calculated Throw can be pretty tenacious. They definitely fought their way back last game, but that was also a much sillier draft than this one, whereas now I'm actually feeling that Please Clap's draft is actually very, very smart and well calculated this game. This Falstad has been doing wonders with just keeping a huge macro advantage, both in terms of soaking the lane as well as controlling the mercenary camp. We're going to see a boss be taken. Yeah, there's no way that the members of Calculated Throw are going to stop that. They're still 5-manning in the middle lane. They're going to have to defend. There just isn't enough soak. There just really isn't. So now we see this boss marching down this lane. LazyHydra is here. He's going to take the camp, and at some point, I'm sure at this point, I don't even think he's going to try to soak a lane again. I think he's going to come join his team, and they're going to push with 5 down this lane with the boss. This is the keep front wall at a minimum, and I think it could go as far as the keep. There's actually a very good chance it could go as far as the keep. Now, it looks like LazyHydra is going to stay here. It shouldn't be the game, though, with the way things work on this map. The core is going to still have 40 armor after this. Oh my god. A lot of things happening right here. Getting stunned. Can Scooterman get out of there? Can ScootypuffJr get out of there? And can this keep survive? I don't think it can. Lasondo now actually a little overextended, possibly. We're going to see Golden in the cocoon, but Lasondo has the bunker, so what is he even worried about? If anything, I feel like this keep is dying a little bit slower than it should, and it's actually not gonna die. I think that, in my personal opinion, I feel that was a misplay. I don't know. I mean, in a way, it could also just be apples and oranges. They could have the keep down right now. They just could. If LazyHydra had been with them, LazyHydra's going to try to take this camp. If he's got Gust, he can keep them off. They do try to invade, but they don't even make it in time to invade, so he gets that camp too. I don't feel the camp is worth as much as the possibility of having the keep down. In fact, I'm not even sure the level advantage is worth as much as that. So I think they could have gotten more. I think there's a world where this keep is dead, but it also probably doesn't matter that much because Please Clap still has a massive lead. 12 to 15, up a talent tier. Calculated Throw will get 13 soon, but 16 is already here for Please Clap. So, in fact, no matter what, they're actually, this is very rare, but they're now down 2 talent tiers. It won't last for long, but that's extremely rare. Calculated Throw doesn't have level 13 or level 16 talents. Again, extremely rare. The statistical difference of being down 4 levels is also massive. You need to really get in isolation. I feel like you can't really win a straight-up team fight. You really need to get in isolation for it to actually work. And I think we're just going to see quite a few deaths. I don't think Anubrak makes it out of here alive. Okay, he does have Burrow Charge off cooldown. He might go down anyway. Body block from Golden. This could be it. That's it. And, you know, with that, at this point, we really could be looking at game now. Once the cavalry units come in, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a double keep play. I mean, actually, this keep is dead now. So, this is most likely game for Please Clap. We've only got 1 keep left standing here. I don't think it's going to survive much longer. This also means the way the core works on this map, unlike other maps, the core is actually a person, kind of, more like a heroic entity. And it can regenerate its health, but it also has armor. meaning it takes reduced damage depending on how many keeps are still alive. Right now it still has 20 armor because this one keep is still alive. If it had 2, it would have 40, and if it had all 3, actually it would just be invulnerable, so I'm silly. Wow. Lasondo going way in there, taking a lot of damage from Vandar. But this could just be it. We're going to see, this is quite possibly the final attempt. We could have some kills in here. Lasondo actually going to go down, but it's also possible that Please Clap just wins this game anyway, even with that death. Vandar nearly dead. Just a few more hits, and that's it. Please Clap will close out this series 2-1. So, hope you enjoyed my second ever Heroes of the Storm replay cast. Could be doing more of these. We'll see. For now, have a good night.